Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga Restore. I'm so glad that you could join me today. My name is Danielle, and we're going to be working today through a really nice, slow practice. And we're really trying to focus a lot on relaxation, getting us ready to enjoy the weekend or the next day that you have. To relax for yourself. So each practice is different. With Yoga Restore, we flow through poses in a slow, sequential manner, and it's completely appropriate for beginners. Today's practice is special because we'll be incorporating a little bit more equipment than we do typically. All you need for this practice is a yoga mat. However, if you would like to, we're going to start today's practice by doing some chair or desk stretches. So I'll have a chair set up behind me. You'll get to see that here in just a moment. And we'll sit there and I'll give you some suggestions, some ideas for stretches that you could do from a seated position in a chair. So these are great for taking a break at work or anything like that. So we will do that today. If you don't have a chair handy, you can do the same head, neck, and shoulder hip stretches from a seated position. We'll also be including 2 yoga blocks. Those are just there for support if you have extra tight calves and hamstrings. So I'll show you where you could use those. And we'll also be utilizing a folded up towel. So we'll be on the knees for part of our practice today. And so this is mainly for your comfort. You can set the folded towel under the knees. Also at the very end of our practice, when we're relaxing on our back, I'll show you a way that you can take a rolled up towel, place it behind your back right along the spine for a nice chest opener. So having said all of that, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and roll out your mat. I'll show you my setup and we'll begin with a check-in meditation. At home, you can feel free to maybe dim the lights, put away any distractions such as cell phones, turn down the volume, and take a little time for you. I hope you enjoy this practice. So as you can see, this is my setup for today. We're going to begin our practice in a seated position. You may sit on your mat, or if you have a chair, you may sit there. I also have a towel just folded up. It's going to go underneath of the knees and behind the back, as I mentioned. And if you have 2 yoga blocks, you can feel free to grab them just for ease of getting into our postures for today. So once you set up your equipment, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and come to a comfortable seat down on the mat, or if you have a chair, you can go ahead and sit there. Plant your feet firmly on the ground. Find your comfortable seat, maybe resting your hands in your lap. We'll practice a mudra today for your hands. So this is a yoga hand position to help facilitate the mind. If you'd like to do this with me, you're going to take your right hand over your left, palms facing upward, and connect the thumbs together. We're going to rest this position right in our lap, just helping calm the mind. So once you find your posture, if you are able to do so and would like to, you may gently close your eyes, relax the shoulders, sit up nice and tall, and let's focus on our breathing. Take a few nice deep breaths in and out. And see if you can, on the exhale, let go of any cares, concerns, or worries of the day. Let's take a moment as we breathe deeply to start to draw our attention in towards the breath. There's nothing you need to see on the screen, so you can soften your gaze or close the eyes. We're going to practice a pranayama yoga breathing technique called the 3-part breath. And we're just going to notice where the breath enters the body and where it comes back out. So as you breathe in your own space, in your own time, I invite you to notice how the air comes in through your nostrils. Notice how the lungs expand, and notice how the abdomen, the belly, expands as well. And then in your own time, exhale all of that out. Not forcing the breath. Continue this process. Really trying to deepen the breaths so that you feel the breath opening and expanding the lungs, the rib cage, and the belly. Breathe deep into the abdomen. Exhale it out. And notice how the belly, the chest deflate down and how the air exits the nostrils. We'll do this a few more times and just really draw your attention in. Notice how the air may be cool as it enters in the body through the nose. And perhaps notice on the exhale how the breath is warm, how an entire process happens with a simple inhalation and exhalation. Take a few more moments now. And I just want you to imagine that fresh energy is entering the body on the inhalation. And on the exhalation, you are letting go of that which you do not need. Inhale in fresh energy. Exhale out tension and stress. One or two more times, just breathe, inhale in, fresh energy. Exhale out, tension or stress. Good. At this point, you may set an intention for your practice. Perhaps see if a word or phrase comes to mind that you would like to have more of in your life. What would you like this practice to help you with? Would you like to be more calm? Would you like to be more relaxed, more flexible? Whatever it is, take a moment and set your intention. When you are ready, everyone, you may slowly return to a natural breath, whatever is right for you, and gently start to open the eyes. Good. From here, as I mentioned, we are going to begin our practice from a comfortable seat. So all of these stretches can be done from seated as well, though I will be demonstrating from the seated position. They're great for releasing stress from a seated chair posture. So let's go ahead and begin sitting up nice and tall in our chair. We're going to take our shoulders up, back, and down, releasing any tension you may find there. Good. It is always okay to make the practice your own. If you find a tight spot in the body, feel free to stretch, move in any way that's right for you. Good. And always remember to breathe. Try to incorporate the breath within the movement. Do not hold the breath. Good. Go ahead and drop those shoulders down. And let's go ahead and reach one arm up and over the head. Good. Relax the body. And when you're ready, big inhale brings you up, and let's switch sides, reaching up and over. Good. Feel that lovely stretch in the side of the body. and come up. Good. From here, we're going to do seated cat and cow. We're going to incorporate some arms with this. So we're going to take our hands out in front, clasp your fingers together, flip your palms, and just reach forward. You can tuck the head in between the arms and just take a big breath, opening those shoulders, stretching that back, making sure to breathe, making space. All right, big inhale brings you up, and you're gonna arch the other way. So your choice here, you can thread the fingers behind the back like we did to the front. If you are working with a chair, sometimes it's nice to hold on to the sides of the chair. Either way, really open that chest, open that heart, maybe look up towards your ceiling. Take a big inhale and exhale, let it go. Great. Go ahead and start to slowly return to a nice neutral spine here. From here, we're going to go into spinal twists, and this is a great one to have the chair help assist you. So we're going to inhale, exhale, twist to your right, and you can place your left hand on your right knee. If you are working with the chair, this is a great time to grab the back of the chair, just to deepen your twist, always not overdoing, contract those abs in. Big breath in and exhale, center. Good. And let's try that the other way. So left hand or right hand reaches towards left leg rather, and twist to your left. Good. One last breath here. And come to center. Good. Let's go ahead now, and I want you to take your hands out in front and let's circle the wrists, articulating through our fingers. Great. Circling those wrists one way and then the other. A lot of times our hands and feet get overlooked, so this is a great opportunity to remedy this. Good. Awesome. Now let's take our elbows, circle it around. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and shake all of this out. Now from here, we've got our feet about hip width apart, knees bent. We're going to do a couple stretches for the low body that you could do at your desk. So the first one that we're going to do is just a lovely forward fold, and this is such a great way to access this pose. So you're going to just very slowly bring the torso up and slowly come forward, keep those knees completely bent, and gently reach down towards your toes. Now, if you have high blood pressure or anything like that, you're going to want to keep it up a little bit higher. If an inversion does not bother you, you're going to gently let the head come forward. Now you can just relax here for a couple breaths, starting to open the backs of the shoulder blades, stretching the back of the lumbar spine. If you want to make this a little more comfortable or a little bit deeper stretch, take your feet and walk them out ever so slightly so that your belly can come forward, and then gently hold on to your elbows and fold forward. If you'd like to here, you can even do a very gentle rock side to side, relaxing that lumbar spine. We're going to hold this for 2 more breaths. And I just invite you to find what works best for you. If you do like this pose, if it feels all right for you, you can deepen it even more by reaching those hands forward. Good. Feel that great stretch in your back. Good. We still have that nice bend in the knee. This just opens the back body a little bit so you can get a deeper stretch in the low back. From here, let's go ahead and use our hands to help us come back up. So just walk your hands up your legs, slowly round through the spine, coming all the way up. Good. Walk your feet in again, about hip width apart, sit up nice and tall, and we're gonna do seated pigeon now. So for seated pigeon, I invite you to take your right ankle, set it on your left knee. So everybody is different here. If your hips are extremely tight and you cannot do setting this knee here, you can always cross at the ankle, okay? All right, wherever you're at, you're going to sit up nice and tall and very gently come towards that leg. So just find out where this works best for you. You can even take a minute as we relax here, starting to stretch into our glute and hip. Maybe you wiggle the toes or circle the ankle. Good. Really great. So take a big breath here in. And then exhale, start to come up. And before we switch sides, if this feels good to your hip, we're gonna do rock the baby on our right side. So you're gonna take that leg you just worked that's up top, hold your ankle in your hand, your knee in your other hand, and just move the leg a little from side to side. Good. So just getting into that hip socket. You can even do a little bounces here. Just have fun, kind of relaxing and maybe not taking yourself so seriously, right? All right, great. And then you can take that leg down, sit up again tall. I sometimes like to sit on the front half of my chair and cross your left leg over. Right. And you can take a minute, sitting tall, finding your seated pigeon, and fold forward. Now from home, you're working without a chair. You would do these exact same stretches from a seated position with your knees bent, feet out in front of you. There are a lot of different ways to access pigeon posture. This is one of many. All right, so just like the other side, breathe deeply. If it feels right for you, you can move the foot and ankle. Folding the body forward. Awesome. All right, slowly, slowly start to come up. And let's rock the baby on the other side. So left hand, or you hold on to that left leg with your hands. And let's just move hip side to side. And rock the baby. Don't drop the baby, right? I remember, oh, excuse me, to breathe deeply. I just yawned right there. Yawning is actually very good. It's a sign that you're getting more oxygen to the body. So if you ever yawn, you know, just notice the signals your body is telling you. Maybe you need to breathe a little more deeply. Maybe you're tired and you need a little bit of rest. Either way, yoga class and a class like this is a great option to achieve both of those goals. Breathing deeply and relaxing. All right, let's go ahead and bring those feet down. Last little thing we're gonna do, and then we're gonna come down to our mat, is we're gonna rock on the heels and the toes. So if you've attended some of my yoga classes in the past, you'll understand that I really think a lot of times our hands and feet get neglected in a lot of fitness disciplines. So it's really important to give the hands and feet a bit of attention as well. So go ahead and you're just gonna lift on the toes, rock back on the heels. Our hands and feet work so hard for us every single day. It's great to really connect. Maybe feel for a minute your feet on that yoga mat. Those tiny little bones. Good. And then just take one foot up, circle that ankle. Good. And then we'll just switch, other side. Circle the ankle. If you ever feel any tension or tightness, modify, do what's best for you. All right, And let me know if you like some of these stretches on the chair. I can do entire classes in the chair format, but today is kind of a hybrid. It's just a little sample of things you can do in a desk setting. So go ahead, when you're ready, you're going to move your chair out of the way if you were working with the chair. And let's just take a nice wide stance. Let's take a big inhale, reach your arms up, thread your fingers together, and just lean to one side. We're going to be going to hands and knees here in a minute, but I just want to take a moment, because this is a pretty relaxed class, to do a few bits of standing work with you. So lean side to side, just assess kind of your energy level today. Good. Let's do a twist, front and back. Left hand forward, right back. And reach up and twist. One more time, come to center, twist to your right. And twist to the left. Good. Let's take our arms up. Take your feet about hip width apart. Let's sit down in a chair pose just for a minute. We're going to do some arm swings. It's a nice gentle chair pose. You don't have to get super, super low. We're just going to swing the arms down and reach up. So do this with your breath. Maybe exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Maybe even a little gentle back bend at the top. Do what's right for you here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. One last time. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. And gently fold the body forward when it feels right for you. Placing your hands on the floor, or maybe the shins or hips, if that is a better option for you today. Let's go ahead, exhale. Let's come down to all fours, or tabletop. So this is one of the occasions where if you have tender knees, you can make a small fold in the mat or use a folded up towel. So I'm just showing this for an option. You do not have to do this, but it's great to see options because sometimes people don't demonstrate them. Feel free to drink water at any time. Your main goal in restorative type of yoga is being comfortable. So our practice is gentle, our breath is full, our intention is mindful. Okay, so hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips. Let's go right into cat and cow when you're ready. Inhale, arch. Exhale, lower. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale, arch. Exhale, lower. Inhale, arch. Lower. Last time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, lower. Great. Let's go ahead into one of my favorite restorative style poses, thread the needle now. So I'm going to show you a couple little modifications with the yoga block for this pose. So for thread the needle, we're going to take our right hand through, thread our right hand out to the side rather, thread it through the left and rest our shoulder down on the mat. So showing you this from the front with a block. If you'd like to, you can set your block. I like to set it on the lower setting here. So not up super high. You're going to take that right arm through, thread it behind the block, and then gently rest your head on the block. So this is still going to give you the same stretch, but just adds a little elevation if you feel uncomfortable putting your head down on the floor. So let's go ahead and find our thread the needle to the right. Good. So you want to feel an opening between your shoulder blades. If you're a more experienced yogi, you love this position, you want to deepen your pose, you can also, you rest that head down, you can tuck your back toe up, I'll show you here in a minute, or wrap your arm behind. So let me show you those variations. Go ahead and take just a few more deep breaths in your thread the needle variation. And slowly come up. Good. We're going to do the same thing to the left side. I'll demo from the front, the most basic version to start. Take that left hand out to the side, thread it through behind that right hand, and rest your head and shoulder on the mat. Get our modifications going. You can set your block. And if you want to do your challenges, right hand behind the back, right toe tucks up. Take one last breath and your thread the needle. Unwind everything good and come back to all fours. Nicely done. All right, from here, we're gonna do just a couple nice stretches to get things moving, a little warmed up now. You shouldn't need your block for this, but always feel free if you need to employ one, go ahead and go for it at any time. So we're gonna start by coming onto our knees. Good, our hands to our hips. I want you to take your hands to the small of your back. We're going to take a big inhale and press the hips forward for a camel pose modification here. Open the chest, gently press the shoulders back. So think of this as a nice hip stretch, less of a back bend. Press those hips forward. Good, and breathe. Stretch forward into child's pose. Reach your fingertips forward, open the knees wide so you can rest the belly in between the legs and reach. We're gonna do this one more time. Inhale, start to come up. Good, press the hands behind our hips, press the hips forward. Good. Big inhale, reach it forward and stretch. Child's pose. From here, we're going to do a little mini flow, keeping it low to the ground. We're going to come into downward dog. So lift those hips high, pedal out those feet, starting to wake up the backs of your legs. Good. And then when you're ready, lower down into a plank pose, top of that push-up. From here, let's set our knees down and slowly come down to the belly. Inhale, lift the chest. You can always do this slower or quicker if you like. And come back, child's pose. Let's try that one more time, little baby sequence. So we're gonna start with a big inhale, come up to our knees, little back bend here, and then find your downward dog. Pedal out those feet. Good. And then lower down, top of a push-up, all the way down to the belly. Inhale, lift. And let's find our child's pose. Good. Let's take a moment and let's start to stretch our hips. I invite you to come back to all fours once more. From here, let's step our right foot forward into a low lunge. Your left knee is still down on the earth. Okay, now here already, this is a great place if your legs are tight or if you have any wrist challenges, you can use a block here. So there's lots of options. You can have the block down at its lowest setting, or you can even have it way up high. So play around with this. This is a great, lunges are really a great opportunity if your hips are tight to use the block. Plus it just makes the chest a bit more upright, which sometimes is more comfortable for some of our practitioners. Good. So we're going to play around a little bit here with stretching the hips. So we've got our position. Find what's best for you here. We're going to shift the hips back, straighten the front leg, and I pull my right toes up off the mat. Good. And again, if you don't have blocks at home, it's completely fine to use your hands. I like to make little fists. Just gently place them on the ground. All right, let's go ahead, bend the knee again. Come into that lunge. This practice is a relatively beginner-friendly practice, but remember, for my more experienced yoga folks, you can take different variations, maybe take a quadricep stretch here, if that is in your practice. All right, let's go ahead, straighten the front leg, head to knee. We're going to add one more strengthening posture to this leg before we switch sides. We're going to come into a low lunge, taking the left knee off of the mat and come into lunge twist. Good. So let's go ahead, bend that front right knee, take the left knee off of the mat, come into your lunge here. And then we're going to go into lunge twist. I'll move this right block out of the way so you can see it. We're going to take our right hand up towards the ceiling. So this is a great option with the block to make it a little bit higher for you. But again, you can do it without the block, oops, like so. All right. Go ahead, breathe, open that chest. And come on down. Let's come back to our child's pose. Open the knees wide and stretch. Great. So we're going to do this with the other side. Let's go right into it. Inhale, all fours. Now step your left foot forward. Good. So find that lunge, and you can notice right now I'm just all the way upright. If your hip flexors are very tight and pressing forward, or any of this strains you, remember you can keep it pretty high upright today too. That is fine. Okay. So let's find our lunge on this side. Slowly start to press the hips forward. Breathe, being mindful, return to the breath, return to your intention. And now let's add a bit of movement. We're going to shift the hips back, head to knee. And let's do that again. Come to your low lunge. Shift the hips back, head to knee. A lot of these stretches are excellent ones to do if you're physically active, say you're a runner. A lot of times the calves and the hamstrings are super, super tight, hip flexors with runners. So take some time to stretch. One last time, let's bend the knee. Big breath in and out. Shift those hips back. Great. All righty. Let's go ahead and go into our lunge twist. So we're going to press those hips forward again. Take the right knee off the mat. And just like before, you're going to reach your left hand up. Good. If you're using a block today, just notice how it makes the pose different. Great. All right. Let's come on down. Press that knee down and step that leg back, knees wide, come into your child's pose. Lovely. All right, we're gonna go, everyone, right into sitting down on our mat. You can take your rolled up towel out of the way if you're using it. Go ahead and actually make it into a little bolster. So the easiest way I know to do this, there's no wrong way, is make it into a little roll. Yeah, we're gonna be putting this under the spine, under the back, have it close by. From here, if you'd like to keep your blocks handy, you can. We're gonna take a wide straddle on our mat so you can have your legs wider than the width of your mat, or use your mat long ways like I'm demonstrating here. So go ahead and find your straddle, whatever that means for you. Let's flex those toes. Reach your left hand over to the right. And we're just gonna relax here for a minute. Taking nice deep breaths, giving yourself time to recharge. So go ahead and come up and switch. Go ahead and come on up when you're ready. If you'd like to grab a block here, you can. We're going to go into a wide leg seated forward fold. So you can go ahead and start to make your way down. So you want to come flat back forward, find that spot of resistance, and then soften into it. If you're using a block today, you can set it up on its tall edge and gently rest the forehead down on the block. We're going to take 3 breaths here. So find a posture that is comfortable for you. Good. Just start to relax into your posture. You may find that the longer you hold the pose, the muscles start to release a bit more, and you go a bit deeper into it. You can slowly start to come up. Good. Take your time to come out of your posture. You can bring your legs out in front, windshield wiper the legs side to side. And then you can flex those feet, reach towards those toes, and relax into your staff pose. Awesome. From here, we're going to come up and we're going to take just a few moments to relax on our back in supported fish pose. So if you are using that rolled up towel, go ahead and grab it now. And if not, you can just gently relax in your Shavasana coming onto your back. Fish pose is very similar to Shavasana, but we're going to use a towel to open the back a little bit. So place a towel down on your mat, a rolled up towel or a cushion is completely fine. And then from there, you have to adjust. If you have a yoga bolster, it might be long enough to get your whole spine. With the towel, depending on what you're using, you may have to play around a little bit. So I like to have my head somewhat supported by my bolster. I don't like to throw the head back. So go ahead and see where you would like this support to be under your back. Typically, your hips are off of the support. So play around with this today, see what works best for you. So you can have the knees bent, maybe knock knee together, hands by your sides. Or you can start to do a few things here. You can come into a goddess pose where soles of the feet are together and the hips open. Or for fish pose, you take the legs out long. So wherever you're at today, go ahead and relax into your posture. If this supported back bend does not feel comfy, just rest on your back without any equipment. Take a few deep breaths. Close the eyes. Return to your breathing. Notice the breath as it floats in and out. Relax your muscles, relax your facial muscles. There's nothing you need to do at this time except let the body settle. When you are ready, friends, we're going to start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. If you're using that rolled up towel, that cushion, I invite you to gently roll onto your side and bring that prop out of the way. Gently roll onto your side. And slowly start to make your way back to a comfortable seat. You can gently open your eyes when you're ready. When we get there, we'll conclude today's practice by sitting up nice and tall. Take a big inhale, exhale, bring hands, palms together at the heart. I wish you a peaceful rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Namaste. Good job.